Today, Year 2, we're going to be finding out a bit more about Africa. And one thing you can do on Google Earth is choose a bit of Africa and just zoom in and see what you find. Now, on this school iPad, it does keep crashing when I zoom in. So we'll see how far we can get. Maybe if I don't go so fast, if I keep stopping. Now, what you will find when you zoom in is often not a lot, because a lot of Africa is empty. It's not all crowded and filled with people like our country. Lots of Africa is completely empty, and it's quite hard to find any people or find a city even. So if we're looking around here, we've got a national park, which normally means it's somewhere that's quite empty. Oh, now there's a hospital there, so that must be a place where people live. So you can start to see now some sort of roads and paths. Sometimes you can pick up the little person and you can land him, but this place, the roads don't turn blue, so that means they haven't been mapped. But it looks like everyone there has got quite a big garden. If we zoom out again, if you find a big city, the roads there normally are mapped. There's Lesotho. I found a whole country there. I wonder if I can find a city. Port Elizabeth. So I'm zooming in here to Port Elizabeth, which is in South Africa. Oh, I can see a lake. I can see the sea. And that place looks very busy, doesn't it? It looks like it's full of people. There's lots of roads. So I'm going to see if I can land somewhere. So this place has been mapped, because when the roads turn blue, it means you can pick up the little person and drop him somewhere. Let's see where we're going to go. It's very exciting. Woo! I think we crashed then. Wow, this looks quite nice, doesn't it? Doesn't look much different to England. People have a sort of view in their heads when they talk about Africa, about what they think it's going to look like. But this part of Africa looks quite similar to our country. It looks quite hot and sunny. They've got the sea down there. I think I can see a church in the distance. And so there we have landed in a road in South Africa. So it's quite fun to have a go at doing that, but it's quite hard to find cities because there's so much of Africa is just open countryside. I'm going to show you now some slides from Year 2's assembly about Africa. Sadly, we didn't get to do it last year, and we probably won't get to do it this year, but it's a really good introduction to Africa. Now, we already know that Africa is a continent and not a country. It's one of the 7 continents that make up the world. And we know that there are 54 different countries in Africa. And in those countries, over 1 billion people live. And those 1 billion people speak 2,000 different languages. Now, Africa is a continent of many contrasts. You can't just say one thing is about Africa, because it's 54 different places. There's some amazing big cities. There are grassy plains, some of the biggest plains, the savannas in the world. There are hot deserts, humid jungles, high mountains, beautiful beaches, and some amazing animals. So we've got lions, elephants, leopards, cheetahs, zebras, giraffes, camels, rhinos, lemurs, meerkats, and many other creatures that exist nowhere else in the earth. But of course, no tigers. Always remember that. Tigers come from India, not Africa. Lots of people get that muddled up. The River Nile is the world's longest river, and it runs through 11 African countries. The Victoria Falls are the world's longest waterfall. The highest mountain in Africa is Mount Kilimanjaro. I'm not going to tell you where it is because that's one of the challenges. But if you look at the picture, it's actually covered in snow, which you wouldn't expect to see in Africa. The Sahara Desert in northern Africa is the largest desert in the world. It's nearly as big as America. So in your new pack, which you're hopefully going to pick up from school, you will have a giant blank map of Africa and a smaller labelled map of Africa. So one of your challenges is to put as many of these country names onto your giant map. Now don't colour it in, you don't need to colour it in. You could colour in the words down the bottom. Some people coloured those in like zebra patterns and giraffe patterns to make them look nice. But to see how many countries you can put on there, and then these are the photographs that we're going to try and put. You can cut these out and stick them onto the correct country. So even if you haven't got these yet, I'm going to put those on the video and you can have a think about which country they might come from. Because some of the animals in the photos only come from one place in the whole world, and it's somewhere on that big map. So good luck with that. Nice, neat cutting and sticking, please. So once you've got your map, your blank map, and you've put some of the country names on it, you've also got these pictures. So these are to go on your map. You might not have all of them because I'm not quite sure which ones you've got, but these are the ones that you need to cut out, and then you're going to stick them on your map. If you can't fit them on the country, you can just draw an arrow so you can stick them and put them. And if you haven't got one of the pictures, maybe you could have a go at doing a little drawing of it. So some of them I'm going to help you with. So the flags, we've got the Kenyan flag there. That goes near Kenya. And we've got Sierra Leone's flag, where Mrs. Keeley went. And Sierra Leone's that tiny little green place up there. Now, maybe you recognise the pyramids. They come from Egypt. And we've got a camel here. Now, I don't think there are any wild camels left in Africa, but you definitely see camels. They're used a lot in Egypt. And this desert here, that could really go anywhere at the top of Africa. It could go in Algeria or Libya, or it could go down here. And I'll put it up in Algeria. Now, meerkats, we're going to read a story about meerkats, and I know that they are found in Namibia. And I also know that elephants are found in a few countries, but definitely they're famous for being in Kenya. So we've also got lemurs, not meerkats, these are lemurs. See if you can find out what country lemurs are found in. There's only one place in the whole planet that you can find lemurs, so see if you can find that one. Where does this penguin come from? Now, I don't think it's the place that they talk about in the cartoon. I think that penguin comes from somewhere else, but it is in Africa. Mount Kilimanjaro, where do you think that might be? The River Nile. Now, remember that went through 11 countries, so maybe you can choose the country that it's most famous for being in. That's Table Mountain. It's got a flat top like a table. We've got a jungle. So see if you can find out which country has a jungle in. And that one there is Victoria Falls, that really big waterfall. So see if you can do some research and find out where to stick those pictures on your map of Africa. Finally, Year 2, if you and your family have got any links to countries in Africa, could you let us know using the Year 2 email? You can also tell me on Zoom, but sometimes it's a bit hard to hear what people are saying on Zoom. So if you have any links, you might have gone on holiday somewhere in Africa, you might have some family who live in Africa. So if your mum or your dad could write it down in an email, we'd be really interested to know. I think my only link is that my dad used to work in the Gambia. I'm not sure what he did there, but he used to bring me back some lovely sort of pretty handmade dresses from the Gambia. He works on boats, so maybe they've got some boats in the Gambia. And the nearest I've ever been to Africa, I think, must be Lanzarote. So I've never actually been there myself, but on the map, Lanzarote looks quite near to the top of Africa. So any links you might have, get one of the grown-ups to type them into the computer and send them to this Year 2 email.